The Orchard Lake Fine Arts Show is a high-profile exhibit, consistently ranking in Sunshine Artists' top 100 art shows in America, showcasing around 130 juried artists. One of those featured artists does ceramic art while transitioning to digital art, and is also a poet. And joining us on The Splash Live from Orchard Lake Fine Arts Show, one of the featured artists, we should say, we have Michael Terra joining us. Thank you for joining us, Michael.
Well, what a pleasure. And it sounds like Splash TV is an incredible institution. You guys rock.
Yes, we do, and we appreciate that compliment as well, Michael. And we just want to get into some of your work, your career, and things of that nature. But from my understanding, after more than 25 years of showcasing ceramics, you're transitioning to digital art paired with your original poetry. Can you just talk about what inspired this shift?
Sure. While driving cross country, actually, through Wyoming, we were rear-ended by a much larger vehicle going 25 miles an hour faster than we were. And it basically tore out my right shoulder muscles and cracked one of the spines of my lower back. And so I could no longer actually lift a single bag of clay. And after trying to figure out how to get people to come by at the right moment to lift a bag of clay up onto the work table for me and all that sort of stuff, we decided that I was unsustainable. And so I went back to a very old skill set, because in the 70s and 80s, I was a large format oil painter. I used to do 7 by 20 foot oil paintings. And they ended up in a lot of, they ended up in a lot of hotels and fancy dining rooms and public places on the East Coast. And so I figured maybe I could remember how to paint. And I've always had poetry. I've always done that in all of my work. So I took the poetical things that I was doing on ceramics, and I have moved them on to painting. But oil painting is a crazy commitment. It's kind of like owning goats. You cannot leave town once you've started an oil painting. You can't take a weekend off. You've got to keep working. You have to keep moving the oil paint while the paint is soft and fresh. And you're stuck. If it takes you 3 weeks, that's great. But if it takes you 8 weeks, well, that's what you're doing. So I thought I would try painting using a tablet, because a lot of my friends, other artist friends, had made this transition and they were all about it. They thought, this is the future. This is great. So I've spent about 3 years teaching myself this new medium. And as you can see, I've kind of ended up doing it.
Yeah, and it looks nice too. Looks like you're in a well lit area that showcases your artwork as well. And you kind of just put out a lot of information about your story, and I want to break that down slowly but surely. And we appreciate you, Michael. But I want to kind of get into this Orchard Lake Fine Arts Show. How does this experience with you being featured here, how does that feel different or more meaningful to you compared to maybe other events and venues that you showcase your work?
Well, this will be my first time at Orchard Lake, and I have a number of other artist friends who say lovely things about it. They like the setting, they like the organizers, they especially like the energy of it. And my work is a little weird. It's a little out of the box. The paintings themselves are very beautiful. They're clouds. So when you hang them on your wall, it's just like having an opening into just clean beauty. And then the words are very, very emotionally impactful. And when I look at the other artists that are at Orchard Lake, and I I think about how am I going to fit into this group that's largely well established. I think it's going to be a good fit, and I think that I won't echo anything else that's already there. I'll be a fresh face.
Right, right. Okay, all right. So it's a lot to look forward to with it being your first time. I imagine it's a lot of excitement as well. And you've already heard great energy, great organizers as well, putting things together for this event. And joining me right here, live on the Splash, by the way, one of the featured artists from the Orchard Lake Fine Arts Show, ceramic artist, digital artist, and poet, Michael Terra, just talking about his experience, his career, and being featured at the Orchard Lake Fine Arts Show. Now, I want to kind of go back because you mentioned, if I'm not mistaken, an accident and how it kind of redirected you as well. Can you just talk about how those health challenges influence your art? Do you find creativity has played a role in your healing? And can that message help members of our community?
I have always made my way in the world as a creative person. And so it's kind of, as my wife says, it's in my DNA. And in our house, whenever we run into hardships of any kind, we say pivot and step forward. And, so when this accident happened, we really, I mean, it was hard because I've been a sculptural ceramicist and poet for 30 years. I've done big public art projects. I've done, thousands of small pieces. So it's tough. I mean, I've got a whole collectorship that knows me and recognizes my work. I've been a principal speaker at national conferences, things like that, in that career. And now I can't do that anymore. So this is part of pivoting and stepping forward. And it's been challenging. It has definitely been challenging because I know how to beat a show. I know how to make art. I know how to write poems. But I don't necessarily know how to sell paintings. So I really have to learn all over again. I need to learn how to talk about my work in a way that I've never done before. So it's a little bit terrifying, but pivot and step forward, buddy.
There you go. Hey, that's a story of inspiration, first and foremost, Michael. Let me tell you, man, because not too many people think about that pivot and stepping in a direction, that reinventing themselves, that next chapter. People like to be locked in where they're comfortable, but sometimes life forces you to do that, and that's essentially what you did, kind of found another lane, and I got to respect that, man, and I gotta give a lot of congrats to that. Just a few things I want to inquire about. West Bloomfield essentially will attract a lot of families and young artists out at the Orchard Lake Fine Arts Show. What advice or message do you bring to kids inspired to explore art or poetry?
So it does not matter if you are the greatest at painting or poetry or whatever creative energy you want to put out in the world. That is not the point of the exercise. The point of the exercise is to create. And it's going to sound weird from a guy who actually makes a living selling artwork, but the fact that our culture says everything has to have a dollar value kind of takes the juice and the joy out of creating and just regular life.
Right.
I would say to anybody of any age, create. Make a meal, share it with your friends, even if it's not the best meal, even if it's not, you wouldn't pay for it in a restaurant.
Let's go, Mike.
Make it and share it.
Yes.
Sing in the shower. Tap your toe to the music. Move around. It doesn't matter if it's the best or, whatever. It's about the joy and the sharing, and just go with it and let it lead you where you're going to go. A lot of times I have an idea about painting.
Right.
And I will think, okay, I want to kind of get this. But in the middle of my working on the painting, something else happens, and I will end up making a completely different painting. And I allow the process to lead me to where it wants to go. And just do that. Remember, it's about your own joy and about sharing with your community, wherever that might be. And just let it lead you. Let it lead you to joy.
Use your heart. Follow your heart. I love that. I love that. Before we let you go, Michael, lastly, just give people a preview of what they can expect when they see you at the Orchard Lake Fine Arts Show.
Well, I've got 4 paintings right behind me here that are a good example. Each one of them is going to have an integrated poem to it. All of it is completely family friendly. And I touch a lot on relationships. I touch on relationships between mothers and daughters and husbands and wives and brothers and sisters, between friends. There are poems about parting, about grief. There's a lot here. When you come to my booth, take your time.
Yeah.
Bring us a cappuccino. It's like you're being at the bookstore. Read, enjoy, think about it, ask questions. I won't be in your face. I'll be over here letting you getting what you get from it. But it's kind of neat work.
Beautiful work, and it's coming from the heart, man. Hey, thank you so much again for your time, and we are definitely looking forward to seeing you out at the Orchard Lake Fine Arts Show in July. Once again, ceramic artist, digital artist, and poet, Mr. Michael Terra. We appreciate you.
One small point is that I will only be bringing the paintings. No more ceramic arts.
There we go.
At the show. So don't come for the ceramics.
Correct.
Come for the clouds.
There we go. Come for that great energy as well. Thank you again. We appreciate you, Mr. Terra.
Thank you, guys.